I'm so sorry, Angela, but I have to leave you there right now because we have breaking news over in the US about Donald Trump, and he has become the third US president in history to be impeached by the House of Representatives, meaning that a trial will be set up in the Senate that will decide whether he remains in office.
The House called for votes on the two charges. The first, abuse of power, stemming from Mr. Trump's alleged attempt to pressure Ukraine to announce investigations into his Democratic political rival, Joe Biden.
The second charge is the obstruction of Congress because the president allegedly refused to cooperate with the impeachment inquiry, withholding documentary evidence and banning his key aides from giving evidence.
We'll go back now to our political correspondent, Talking Paul, who is in Washington, for more on this story. Paul, how were the votes?
Well, Tom, Ben, the vote for the first article of impeachment, abuse of power, was passed 230 votes to 197, and the second for obstruction of Congress, 229 votes to 198. Both votes fell along party lines, with nearly all Democrats voting for the charges and all Republicans against. Now, what did members of the House of Representatives say during the 10 hours of partisan debate? Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi opened the debate and said that, quote, "For centuries, Americans have fought and died to defend democracy for the people, but very sadly now our proudest vision of a republic is under threat from actions from the White House," unquote. And she also said that, quote, "If we do not act now, we will be derelict in our duty. It is tragic that the president's reckless actions make impeachment necessary. He gave us no choice," unquote. Democratic Representative Joe Kennedy, a grandnephew of President John F. Kennedy, used his speech to address his children directly, explaining his decision to vote for impeachment. Quote, "Dear Allie and James, this is a moment that we read about in your history books," unquote, the Massachusetts congressman said. He went on to accuse the president of, quote, "using his power as a weapon against his own people," unquote. Doug Collins, the top Republican on the House Judiciary Committee, accused Democrats of conducting an unfair and illegitimate inquiry. He said that, quote, "This is an impeachment based on presumption. This is a protested impeachment about what actually sells to the American people," unquote. Republican Barry Loudermilk compared the impeachment process to the fate of Jesus Christ. He said that, quote, "During that sham trial, Pontius Pilate afforded more rights to Jesus than Democrats have afforded this president in this process," unquote. I'll also tell you about demonstrations that took place on the streets. Hundreds of people gathered in Times Square in New York on Tuesday night, and they were chanting, quote, "Tell me who's above the law, nobody's above the law," unquote.
Now, what about Donald Trump himself? Where was he during the impeachment, and what was his say of the impeachment?
Well, as voting took place, President Trump was addressing a campaign rally. He told a cheering crowd in Battle Creek, Michigan, that, quote, "While we're creating jobs and fighting for Michigan, the radical left in Congress is consumed with envy and hatred and rage. You see what's going on," unquote. During the House debates, Mr. Trump tweeted several times, calling the Democratic arguments atrocious lies by the radical left and an assault on the Republican Party. Now, what will happen after Mr. Trump is impeached by the House and the trial is set up in the Senate? Will they decide that he'll be acquitted? Most likely, Thomas, the Republican Party's majority in the Senate make it highly likely the president will be removed from office when senators cast their votes. Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell last week said that Republican senators would act in total coordination with the president's team during the trial, outraging Democrats who pointed out that senators are obliged to act as impartial jurors. Mr. McConnell will be the one who decides the rules for the trial and which witnesses will testify. He is due to address the Senate later on Thursday.
Thank you so much again, Paul. Our political correspondent, Talking Paul in Washington.
Now, we could have continued the sport news, but since we're now running out of time, we'll have to leave that for the time being.
Speaking of time, it's been 3 years since Outfit7 News was launched back in 2016.
Since then, we've delivered these to you, always putting it first where it happens.
Let's take a look back at some of the best moments of what is now Outfit7 News.
Good day and welcome to the very first edition of Tom and Ben News. Now here are the headlines. Good day and welcome to the first edition of Tom and Ben News. Now here are the news. A truck flowed into a Christmas market in Berlin on Monday, killing at least 9 people, and what German authorities are treating up as a possible terror attack. Breaking news here, Outfit7 television staff and workers are now going on strike.
Vladimir Putin sought to help Donald Trump win the presidential election. female suspect has been arrested in connection with the death of Kim Jong-un's half-brother. Egypt's president has announced a 3-month state of emergency after attacks on 2 Coptic churches.
NATO is expelling 7 Russian diplomats in response to a nerve agent attack in the UK. Japan's Emperor Naruhito has formally proclaimed his ascension to the throne in a loud assembly.
This is Tom.
And Ben, and good day. This is Tom and Ben News.